Hello and good morning or good evening or good whatever it is for you wherever you are in the world. Um, Tuning in today for this daily inner voice inspiration that I am enjoying offering to you. And the word that came to me today, I spent a couple of minutes in meditation before I get on this, is revenge. I was like, supposed to inspire people with revenge? That doesn't sound right. Well, obviously, revenge is all about forgiveness. This is really about forgiveness and how stupid a concept forgiveness is these days. From telling little kids to say I'm sorry without really understanding what they've done or what they're doing, to spiritual circles where we're supposed to forgive and let go. And how the hell do you do that? I mean, how the hell do you forgive something that you've been holding on to for the past 35 years? And you just hate the guts out of the people who did it to you. And you've been holding on for basically an unconscious desire for revenge. Now, let me talk about that for a minute because it's really, really important. If you haven't forgiven someone, and we'll talk about what exactly that means in a second, then you have a desire to get back at them. When you have this desire to get back at the people who've hurt you, you're creating a conflict, a wall between the two of you. And you can see it in the 4-year-olds, right? You can see it, I see it in my daughter all the time. As she gets angry, she hits me. She wants to hit me and hurt me back. There's some kid took something from her, smack, I'm gonna hurt you, you know? So we have this ingrained instinct to hurt people that hurt us or that we perceive have hurt us in some way. It's really, really important to acknowledge it because it's the biggest barrier to us forgiving anybody or to letting go of a past hurt or a past situation is that ability or just to understand that we have a desire to hurt somebody in return. So take a breath, take a minute, sink into that understanding. Notice how where there's people that you haven't forgiven, you have a real rage to get back at them, to equalize the scales, to make it somehow better by putting them down. And the whole putting them down thing brings me to a really important component of forgiveness, which is the experience of humiliation. Now, when somebody's hurt us, we experience humiliation. And that is one of the most difficult things to allow ourselves to experience. But it's crucial in the process of letting go and forgiving. It is crucial to understand that we were humiliated and put down and, depending on what it was, like enslaved almost to that other person, made their slave by having them have power over us in some way. So take a moment, tune into that. Of course, it's all coming up for me as I talk about it, so it's kind of intense stuff, I know. Take a few deep breaths, just allow the experience of understanding that if you haven't forgiven, you probably experience the unconscious desire for revenge or to hurt that person. And then from there, understanding that when you start to let go, if you want to start to let go of that desire for revenge, you may experience humiliation, an experience of being inconsequential, being less than somebody else. Again, a very difficult experience to have. And one that you instinctively fight against. And here's where we get to the but, right? The experience of forgiveness has to come from understanding the humiliation that has occurred. So I studied with a teacher, a shaman. She's an amazing woman, and she would tell us humiliation is the greatest spiritual gift that you can receive. So if you're looking for the annihilation of the ego, in essence, on this path of spiritual awakening, there, and you experience humiliation, an experience of being inconsequential, being nothing. Well, gosh, isn't that the greatest spiritual gift you can have? Because that's what you've been looking for, right? You're looking for this experience of being nothing, essentially, which is part of the process of awakening. And through these places where we've been put down, we can experience that. And when we do experience that, we not only receive that spiritual gift for ourselves, but it removes that stone from our heart, because that desire for revenge, that is what we're holding on to in these places, is a block in our heart center. It blocks our ability to love, love ourselves, love others, all of that. So take a moment, put your hands in your heart, take a deep breath, and remember the places where you have not forgiven. And feel those places as blocks, as stones on your heart. And as you experience the anger that you have in these places, just let that anger vibrate and be a force that melts those stones in your heart as you receive the gift of humiliation and the knowledge of being nothing from these situations. Stay connected to your body in this process. Let your breath be open. And as those waves of anger come through, just allow them to be the force that explodes those rocks in your heart. And allow that experience of humiliation from letting go, that experience of being nothing, to become a spiritual gift for you. To become a source of power and strength from the freedom that's created within. Thank you for watching this. I hope it serves you. I hope that you are able to open your heart today to this possibility of release and freedom and emptiness. And I would love to hear your experience of this in the comments if you feel like sharing, or of course send me a message if you want to. I love hearing what people's stories are. I'll see you next video. Thanks for tuning in.